Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nox, and as you likely noticed, this is going to be a different video from the past uploads. Rather instead, this is going to be more of an explanation. I've been thinking about a lot of what I intend to say and the best way to say it, and inevitably scratch the idea completely or toss the words out entirely. Because now that I actually have people acquainted to me that actually care about myself or my content, it's honestly really strange, but in a really good way. So I just don't want to disappoint any of you. Some of you have noticed my apparent and seemingly random disappearance, and I appreciate to all of those who have raised their concerns directly to me, sincerely. So I owe you I owe you an update at the least to express what's happening and where I see the future of the channel going. I know this is just kind of out of the blue, so just please bear with me. And I appreciate your patience, first and foremost. But firstly, I'd like to address and explain my recent absence. So, life is a funny way of preventing you from committing to new things, or at least maybe that's the problem I always inevitably have. But when I first started uploading in the beginning, I was working as a line cook at a winery and restaurant, and that gave me a pretty good deal of time to work in Vintage Story and upload content for the channel. It worked out pretty well. But since then, or rather, since the day I uploaded the last video, two things happened simultaneously, which I could not and did not see coming. My wife hurt her knee, and I lost my job. I'm not particularly at a loss about the job itself because I've worked in a lot of different places, just trying to fit in, trying to find the best places, I guess, that works for me and what I enjoy, whether or not it's like gives me purpose, that kind of stuff. But that place definitely was not it. The environment itself was terrible and full of workplace drama. Management and the owners had some seriously long sticks in some unspeakable places, to say the least. I could not stand the quality of food that we were forced to serve because of cheapness. And most of all, I was especially unhappy. The only happiness I really got out of the job wasn't even from the job itself. It was actually being able to do this. The ability to work on content for you guys before I got to work. All that free time to, anticipate and move forward and just try to get my head into a gear of someplace better, I suppose, was just all the more for me. And I say I lost my job, but in actuality, I made the decision to leave based on my latest check with that 25 hours in 2 weeks. At a wage that I was working and it being my only source of income, it's not enough to survive in this economy. I'm sure all of you know so much about that. But let alone if you're living with a spouse and we could barely afford things past rent. So it was just getting troublesome, and I was already looking for other places to work and whatnot. But I ended up just taking the gamble and just trying to leave at that time, even though I didn't have anything set up, which was a clear mistake considering what everything we got into. Anyways, after a few hours after my decision to leave my workplace, my wife also had injured her knee at work, and she's had issues with her knees for years, pretty much since she was a kid, but by now it got to the point where she would literally collapse. And for context, she's also a cook, but she works at a nursing home. So she's on her feet constantly, and she's always had knee problems. And for context as well, she's only 26. But anyways, we've been going to the doctors to see some like knee specialists and just surgeons, doctors, what have you. And for a while, it was chalked up to being just a torn meniscus. And then it turned into some serious surgery that will cost a lot of money that we don't have. And I guess to speak about that some, to sum it up, the surgery involves taking a wedge out of her leg to correct her for 180 degrees because her leg is like skewed off, like outset from her body, which I guess could cause a lot of issues. But not only that, but her like I don't know, her knee bone, I guess, itself wasn't or isn't aligned. So they need to do like cartilage culturing and transplant to, I don't know, play with some things and make things work. Some sort of like knee alignment and some stretching and unstretching of tendons on either side because I guess that's just, how to make things all fit together all correctly. Um, to be honest, I don't know with all the medical jargon. It's really hard to keep up. It's really hard to keep up with. So I hope I labeled it out in an understandable way. But all in all, it's going to be a pretty critical surgery that's going to take about 4 hours or so. But it's not going to be done until next year because I guess that's when the surgeon wanted it. We tried for it to be as soon as possible, but yeah, no dice, I guess. But in all the while, for about 2.5 weeks or so, I was running around frantically place to place, especially after gotten that news. Just applying everywhere, literally everywhere I possibly could until I finally got hired by another place. So now at this new place, I have a committed schedule, which is not random like the restaurant was. So it's really nice in that aspect. The only issue I see is actually recording because now with this, I work really early and I get home in the later evening, where my wife is already home from work or ready to go to sleep at that time. So I'm trying to balance the idea of recording while my wife is present, or at home at least. And honestly, recording with her isn't the issue. To me, that's fine. But it's also kind of difficult because it might force me to only record once or twice a week versus the everyday I used to. So that kind of stinks. But I mean, I guess that's life. Um, I mean, because I want to enjoy my time with her and not leave her out. So anyways, it's all for debate, but this is just to get through the moment, and it's not forever anyways. um I guess that leads me to my next topic is, I guess, where do I see the future headed? And that's a hard one. It really is. I'd like to say all the things you'd like to hear, but I'm far from that way. So instead, out of respect, I'm going to tell you it as it is, and just please take it with a kind heart. I honestly don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what I see in this channel thus far. I will say I enjoy Vintage Story a lot. I enjoy making the content for the channel and engaging with you all. It makes my fucking day. It really does. It makes me very happy just to see other people reaching out to me and encouraging me or just showing me different points of views. It's it's a lot, and I really do appreciate it. And I really want to enjoy, or rather, I enjoy the aspects in this lifestyle and want to indulge my creativity strongly like an outlet, just like I'm doing here. I want to continue this, but I'm not a fortune teller and I don't know how life will eventually pan out. And it's never been a thought for me to really take YouTube life seriously, mainly because I've never actually considered it. Um, I don't really see myself as an especially outgoing person who thrives in the limelight. Actually, I've always been interested in running my own business one day, which is a completely different thing. Um, that's a topic, or that's a discussion for another day, I think. But in this moment, I do want to continue contributing to this platform and engaging with y'all. So I've made a Discord server and I posted it in the description if you're interested in joining my community. I'd like it to be a place of peace and brightness where other people can just express their thoughts and creativity. That being said, it's a new server and I don't know much of what I'm doing or how to run one anyways, but I'm going to do my best to hopefully motivate you guys in the process. Um, and God, oh my God, I would love to see your guys' creations, especially anything chiseled. Like whether it's big or small, I don't care. I love chisel work. Maybe a little too much. And hopefully you'll see that much from me as well, which I, again, intend to. Oh God, that scared me. But Yeah. So I think that pretty much sums up what's been going on in my day-to-day life in the last month or so. It's been extremely hectic, and I want to apologize for my absence. It, by all means, I did not intend to be gone. I really wish I could have planned things ahead and sought all this happening, but I didn't. Um, and I'm also apologizing for the concern I raised in you guys. And I hope we could move forward again in the future. So in the next videos, I'm gonna be doing like a little trial run. So in my next videos, I'm gonna be testing out a new series of creative chiseling and projects, so that I can mainly so I could get a feel for how to actually record with my wife present. But that being said, the city is going to be on pause, but it's only on pause just for now, just until I can get my footing a little bit longer and come up with a schedule that works best. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you all, and I appreciate your patience and concerns. You could definitely see me more often in the Discord, as I'll almost always be available. Because even at work, I mean, I got my phone. But yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. I appreciate your patience. And I'm sorry again. But yeah, until next time. Ciao, my friends.